The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is a game that upon its initial release quickly became a beloved title for many players, yet for most, it remained unknown. While it went on to spawn a massive franchise spanning numerous entries, the series has consistently struggled to reach mainstream audiences, in part because of the intimidating barrier to entry brought on by such a long-running series. However, if any game could bring this underrated gem into the spotlight, it would be the remake for the game that started it all, a game still regarded as one of the series' most cherished entries. The question is, does the remake live up to its legacy, and should you play it? Trails in the Sky follows the story of two central characters, Estelle, an energetic tomboy, and Joshua, a mysterious boy discovered 5 years earlier by Estelle's father. From that day forward, the pair were raised together, eventually choosing to follow in their father's footsteps by becoming Bracers, an international peacekeeping organization. This decision set them on a journey across the Kingdom of Liberl, where they formed new bonds, explored diverse regions, uncovered hidden truths, and confront looming threats. It's this engaging narrative, supported by a remarkably strong cast, that cemented Trails in the Sky as a classic fans instantly adored. Furthermore, the story remains just as compelling today, and with the remake's additions such as voice acting and fully animated cutscenes, it has only grown stronger. These updates not only breathe life into the experience, but also make the game far more approachable for new players, while also offering longtime fans a fresh perspective on the beloved tale. Of course, the story and visuals aren't the only aspects that have been refined. The gameplay has seen significant overhauls as well. A major strength of the original Sky was its unique turn-based combat, which combined a tile-based battlefield with a manipulatable timeline, resulting in a system unlike most other RPGs. And the series' signature arts and crafts further distinguished it by reimagining the traditional skills and spells. The remake expands on this already strong foundation. Movement is less restrictive, opening the door for new positional bonuses in combat. The new overdrive system offers an extra layer of depth not previously seen, and the biggest addition is the ability to approach battles in two different ways, either real-time action or traditional turn-based combat. Better yet, both modes can be used together for tactical advantages. Character customization has also received a much-needed improvement. While the original's orbment system felt underdeveloped compared to later entries, the remake has reworked it into a more interactive and satisfying system that adds to the strategic depth. Now, one of the biggest advantages of remaking a game within a long-running series is developers have years of refinement to draw from. They know what works, what doesn't, and how to innovate on established systems. And the combat updates are proof of this. But the improvements extend beyond battle, because in the original, completing every side quest or finding hidden items was nearly impossible without a guide. Optional content often required unintuitive backtracking after very specific story beats, and with no indicators and no fast travel to ease the tedium, it was incredibly difficult to know when and where you needed to go for specific things. Worse yet, progressing too far could lock players out of content entirely, making the process of doing everything that much harder. And now the remake resolves this by doing what future entries have done and add markers to indicate where and when side content becomes available, greatly reducing the frustration and making it feasible to complete most optional content without outside help. And with the new fast travel system, revisiting earlier areas is no longer a chore, streamlining the overall process to a better degree. The final major improvement is the remake's overall smoothness. Everything feels fluid to the point of being almost seamless. The best example lies in the combat. The transition between real-time and turn-based modes is instantaneous, and battles end without any downtime, allowing you to jump straight back into exploration. And this is only further enhanced by the fully connected 3D world, which replaces the original's segmented zones. The result is an experience that flows naturally both in exploration and in combat, which just makes the game feel fantastic. Now that said, the remake isn't without flaws, though fortunately the negatives are minor. The most notable issue is the lip syncing in the English dub, which occasionally feels off, though not enough to detract from the experience. And the only other major drawback is the fact that this is a Trails game, so as the name implies, it's only half of the whole arc. And if you do end up falling in love with the remake, you'll either have to wait for the second chapter to be remade, or just jump into the original second chapter, something that may prove challenging for newer players given the age of the older version. And this actually brings us to something that we need to discuss, which is the Legend of Heroes series as a whole. All the games actually share the same world, and events in one entry often ripple into others. For example, Sky is chronologically the first, with minor characters and plot threads later paid off in future titles. Trails of Cold Steel, for instance, takes place a few years after Sky in the neighboring empire of Erebonia, which is frequently mentioned throughout Sky. This interconnectedness is actually one of the series' greatest strengths, but it's also one of its most intimidating barriers. Many newcomers hesitate to start the series because they're unsure where to start. The truth, however, is that each arc functions as a largely self-contained story. While playing multiple arcs enriches your understanding of the overarching narrative, it's rarely necessary to enjoy any given entry. The best comparison I can give is Star Wars. Watching the prequels adds context, but you can still fully enjoy the original trilogy without them. That said, since Sky is chronologically the first, it's actually the perfect entry point for newcomers, so if you've been putting off the series, now is the best time to give it a go. And with that said, my verdict should be obvious. The Trails in the Sky remake is absolutely worth playing, whether you're a newcomer or a longtime fan. But if you're still unsure, something important to know is that the demo is fully transferable, meaning you can play the first few hours for free, and if you do end up enjoying the game, you can purchase it and continue from your demo save file without losing any progress. But with all that said, if you're still here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.